Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Frank staying up late for us now that he is back in his homeland of France. Ali and Stevie here in the studio with us too.
It's a lot quieter around here, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, we miss you, Frank. We miss you in the studio.
Yeah, well, we missed him for the France coverage against Spain.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we did. We also missed him for that.
Was he not supposed to be here?
He likes to check in 7 hours early for his flight.
He wants to make sure he gets to the airport on time, I know.
Yes, lodging it in the lounge, no doubt. Okay.
I tell you, I was so happy to do so.
Frank, first question is for you.
I was very happy to do so, I tell you.
Yes. Ryan Cherki, has he got what it takes to be Griezmann's replacement in the France squad?
Well, he has everything. He has all the tools. He's a great player. But, he would need to get more experience. He took a little while. You know, some people would have thought that he could have joined the national team a little bit earlier. He showed some real quality and throughout the years. And now he's linked to some big clubs. So he can grow, even if he already had a very good level at Lyon. But I think he still needs some little things, sometimes to make it easier, simpler, like today, where I saw him losing kind of lots of ball, where it was easier to find a solution. But he is a real talent. He's exceptional. Technically, he has all the tools, so I want to wish him the best. If he can be a Griezmann, it's different. Griezmann is not the same type of player. Griezmann was somebody who was seeing the game. Cherki is more a skillful player.
Okay.
If you're a Spalletti, wouldn't you have Frank coach Italy against Moldova? You know, you have a look-alike. You just have Frank take over, and Spalletti doesn't have to coach. Doesn't have to be involved, and then we can work out on the contract afterwards.
You fancy taking over Italy, Frank? One game?
Yeah, the problem is how do I learn Italian in 2 days?
Those are details, Frank. You're an actor. You're an actor. Make it work.
It's all in the hands, Frank. It's all in the hands.
Sì, ok, ma no problema, no problema. Niente.
I thought you were an actor. I thought you were a method actor. Yeah. Good Lord.
Stevie, do the recent performances of Ronaldo for Portugal convince you that he should be starting for them in the upcoming World Cup?
I honestly find it. I understand what everybody's talking about, how he only needs one chance and the rest of it. But if you're going to win the World Cup, you can't afford to carry somebody. Even though if he gets an opportunity, you know he might score or will score.
Have they been carrying him in these Nations League games, though?
Let's just say that there's no question that there'll be three or four players in that team who will be doing extra running for Ronaldo, which is fair enough. You know, Argentina does it with Messi. The problem with Ronaldo, in a year's time, a year when you're 25 to 26 means nothing. When you start getting up in the late 30s and then you hit 40, and then he's going to be 41. Physically, it goes very, very quickly. And we saw, as Ali brought up in the show, this is his second game in 3 or 4 days, and by the 80th minute, something gave in. That is only going to get worse between now and 2026 World Cup. So I just don't see how he's physically going to be able to start for Portugal. Yes, you can have him in the squad. Yes, you can, if you need a goal, you bring somebody like him on for 20 minutes at the end. But honestly, if Ronaldo's starting for Portugal this time, when the World Cup starts in 2026, no, he'll be a passenger.
Who was more impressive tonight, Ale? Lamine Yamal or Nuno Mendes? Did Mendes pocket Yamal?
The answer, based upon tonight's performance, is only one player, 100% Nuno Mendes. He was not only the player of the match, he was some kind of special today. Taking advantage of spaces in advanced positions, doing what you expect attacking players to be doing in those sort of positions, taking on defenders, finishing chances, making good decisions, finding productivity, and on top of all that, defending really well. Not only on Lamine Yamal, but defending really well when they needed him to make a challenge. When Pedri cut to the inside and outside and he's about to score the goal, he makes that block. I think what he did with Lamine Yamal today is that, one, he concerned Lamine Yamal with the defending part of the game, because Nuno Mendes will go up regardless of who the other player is. He doesn't care if it's Lamine Yamal, he still will attack. Some players are intimidated by the fact that they won't get forward, because if I get forward, Lamine Yamal is over there and I have to go chase him back. Nuno Mendes is not concerned about Lamine Yamal. And so he's forcing Lamine Yamal into deeper positions. The other thing that he did is, the first couple of times that Lamine Yamal went to take him either to the inside or the outside, Nuno Mendes, with athleticism and speed, was there side by side with Lamine Yamal, which then forced Lamine Yamal to go back, sideways, and back, to lose the ball in bad areas, and that puts doubt in a player. Nuno Mendes certainly today was, on today's performance, on today and today alone, was absolutely better than Lamine Yamal.
Okay. For Ale, should Bayern Munich pursue Xavi Simons? And will it work out if he played on the left wing and in a front four of him, Musiala, Kane and Elise?
Okay, this is a very simple answer, and it's the same answer to both questions. 9 and 9? No, you stay away from Xavi Simons. If I were Bayern Munich, I'm looking for something different than Xavi Simons. I don't think he gives me something different than what I'm going to get from Yamal Musiala, and Yamal Musiala is a better version of Xavi Simons. I also don't think that you go chase a player like Xavi Simons that saw his team perform at the level that he did this season, Leipzig, and he had no impact in changing the way this team performed, particularly in the attacking half. Leipzig had an awful season in Bundesliga, and Xavi Simons is at the forefront of that. Now, we're not going to put all the blame on him, but he was not outstanding.
Yeah, okay. Frank, with his proven track record in Serie A and Europe, are you surprised there hasn't been more concrete interest in Osimhen from top teams looking for a striker?
Yes, but I was told that it's complicated with the players, complicated maybe with the agent, I don't know, with the contract as well. The amount of the buying, the amount of the wage as well, it can be huge. So I don't have all the things in order to say why and if it's fair to not have any too much offers for Osimhen. What I know is that guy has been outstanding with Lille, has been outstanding with Napoli, and should be, because of the lack of talented strikers, should be looked for from many teams. And if not, must be a reason that I don't have, and I'm surprised too.
Stevie, if you were managing a European side in the Club World Cup, how hard would you push your players in training, or would you leave a little in the tank for the upcoming season come August?
Well, I think the easy answer is you go to the owner or sporting director, whoever's in charge, whoever you're answering to, and you ask them, how important is this tournament to the club? And then you go from there. Because there's no question, the teams that are going to play in this tournament are going to be hurt further down the line. Probably Christmas time, just after Christmas, probably starting to lose legs. Because your whole, as footballers, we're used to a routine. And again, when you throw in a tournament like this, your routine of rest and recovery from the end of a season to a tournament that you're not really sure how it's going to be and what's going to happen, and there's just so many changes. But ultimately, the first and easy, straightforward answer is, if this is important to the club, then that changes how you train and how you play, and just the whole culture of your team in the tournament. The ideal situation would be, look, we don't care, we want to win the Premier League next year. Then that means that as a manager, I can say, you know what, I can just try and blood players, give some players some time, but it doesn't really matter, and take it easy, not train hard, give them a break. So Yeah, it's not a straightforward answer. It's how important is it to the club answer.
Think about this though, and we were talking about it off camera. Players that were in the Nations League in this Final Four, they now leave their national teams. Do they go on vacation? Nope. No sir, no senor. You have to go and join your club at the Club World Cup if they're participating. Players that are down in South America doing Commonwealth World Cup qualifiers right now, are they on vacation after this? No, they're not. You join your team and play the Club World Cup. We're pushing it. We really are pushing it. And to expect these players to perform at a high level after a very long, grueling, taxing, draining, physically and mentally year of activity, you're asking them to give this tournament importance. Again, you're pushing it, and we're gonna see that some of the performances will not be to the standards that we expect from some of these players.
Last question. As a player, does it affect you positively or negatively when the crowd boos every time you touch the ball, or do you just completely tune it out? Frank?
Completely tune it out and make me laugh. And I would have been Cucurella, especially because it's only German stupid people who would boo him because of what happened last year with Germany. It's laughable. It's insane. It's stupid. Why do you have to boo a player for 90 minutes or 2 hours today because of what happened something a year ago where he's not responsible for? That's not his fault if the referee decided to not give a penalty for handball. That's insane. So I would have played with it. I would have played with it to show them that I don't care, or ignore it. Maybe it's better, it's smarter, like Cucurella did. But I'm a little bit fed up with the people who think they have a voice where they should really shut up. And those people have no brain whatsoever to have booed Cucurella. That's done and said.
Especially, by the way, when Germany were not even on the field. Spain did not play against Germany in this Nations League. And yet every time he touched the ball, the German fans, to Frank's point, did what they did. I'll tell you when I don't know if it affected me, but it certainly made an impression. We had an open training session for our fans in Venezuela. At that point, our national team coach was in hot water. And I was perceived to have been, because I was usually with him or tended more times than not to be with him in press conferences, there was this association made that I was his boy. That I was merely there because basically I suppose they felt like he was doing me a favor of some sort, which wasn't the case whatsoever. But because there was this association made in the media, in the open training session, pressure on the manager, every time I touch the ball, our own fans, they started to boo every time I touch the ball. And I'm like, it took me a second to go, they're booing.
Wow.
Oh, they're booing me. Oh, I'm the problem. I see. I'm the problem. But to Frank's point, you end up actually laughing about it because it's so incredibly ridiculous that it makes no difference whatsoever to you as a player.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you've done well there. You've done well there to not let that affect you.
Did it bother you? Would it bother you?
No. No, the only time it would bother anybody, I would assume, would be your home fans. If you're
like a
actual
Trent
fans,
Alexander-Arnold type of situation.
Yeah. I mean, you've done well not to let it affect you. You know, when you're away from home, you do two things. You tune it out, or you use it as fuel, and you just go, okay, that's good. Keep booing, and I'll keep smashing it in the back of the net, or smashing your players, or doing something to make you boo even louder. But I don't know how I would have reacted to my own fans booing me. That would be hard.
I think I was able to recognize that. Well, at least this is what I told myself. I may have been wrong. What I told myself was, they're not really booing me.
They're booing him.
They're booing him.
Right.
But you were teacher's pet.
Apparently, which is very unlike me, but apparently I was. And so yes, there was a connection, and So there I was being booed. And it was during practice. Had it been during the game, maybe it's different, but it was during training and actually became a joke as we went back into the locker room and we were sort of trying to decide if they were booing me or booing another guy, but apparently the consensus was me.
Okay. Nice question. And Frank saying, you could just shut up. There's nothing to say.
Yes.
All right, don't boo Frank, don't boo Stevie. He wouldn't like it. And if you boo Ali, he doesn't even care. See you next time.
But you're asking them to boo me, Kay? Wow, you're on a
course
run
not.
today.